Pretty cool, huh? I was really intimidated to ride this bike because it's got 205 horsepower, and I've had some fast bikes in my life, but nothing ever like this. You guys have probably seen all the videos that have all the specs and people riding with the cameras all over their bikes, so I'm not even going to attempt to do any of that stuff. You know what this bike is like. I'm going to tell you what it's like to live more on a day-to-day basis, because I don't think too many people actually do that. So because it's hot inland, we're staying along the coast, and that limits where we can ride. I did get up to some pretty good speeds, and I was intimidated by the bike, but it feels a lot like my Triumph Street Triple, surprisingly. The riding position, the suspension, way more motor on this, but at some point you can't use any more motor. This is, of course, is the V4, 205 horsepower. It's got the quick shifter, Öhlins adjustable suspension. You can program the suspension, program the motor into 3 different modes. Race mode is almost unrideable. Street mode is actually very pleasant, tons and tons of power without intimidating you in any way. I guess my friend who lent me the bike said they have set it up so you cannot wheelie, which I guess that's a deal killer for some people. Not for me. I'm fine with this. This is amazing. The comfort level is surprising. My legs were a little cramped with my long legs. A little more padding in the seat would have been nice just for me, but my friend's fine with it. The bars were surprisingly pleasant, kind of street triple kind of bars. You can program everything imaginable in this bike. I didn't even realize that you can actually program in between settings. So you can program in between street mode and race mode, which is kind of impressive. And the same thing with the suspension, because I said to him, I said, you know, some of these roads are really bad around here, but you want something softer than comfort mode. And he says, well, yeah, you can program that in, so that's just killer. If I had one complaint, it would be the heat. A lot of heat comes off the motor. Some of it comes off the muffler area in here, but I noticed it was coming up a little in here too. And hey, it's 205 horsepower, and it's putting out heat, and that's what you got to live with. But what a cool bike. I guess one other complaint, but maybe not for this kind of a bike, because you're not taking long trips on this bike. The tank size is not real big, and the reserve came on at 82 miles, which is kind of really, that's a little much. You know, we figured it had at least another gallon, so it certainly would be safe to go to 100. But 100 miles is a little touchy to go anywhere. But on the other hand, here in San Diego County, there's tons and tons of back roads, and that's what this thing is kind of meant for. Either that or maybe track days if you're into that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm very impressed with it, and the bike is brand new, so we can't get too crazy with it. The mirrors didn't work at all, so he put these little bar end mirrors on. They absolutely work great. Put the little fairing up on here to kind of clean up the front end. On order, he has a seat cowling to clean up this rear area, and a tail tidy to get this tucked in better. And that's about all he really wants or needs to do with it. And I'm surprised that I'm impressed with this bike, because I rode the Multistrada last year, and I actually liked that a lot. But that's kind of top heavy and kind of heavier, and unless you're taking long trips, you really don't need it. For around San Diego, this is like a perfect bike, especially as a second bike. Anyway, a little bit of a short test. Maybe we'll do a longer test a little down the road when we put some more miles on the bike. Hey, this is Ron, signing off.